Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as your law intellect. We have got a decision, the YNW Melly trial. Some of us are not surprised. The judge has declared a mistrial. They are unable to reach a verdict, which is what your girl called when they went into deliberation. Yes, Andrea says she knew it. Everybody in the chat, pretty much from the intellect, we knew it. We said it in the chat that that's what the verdict was going to be. I do want to get some of your feedback. I did jump on here. I don't even know what I look like right now. I just jumped on here as soon as they declared that it was a mistrial. I'm gonna see what else they talking about right now. Wait a minute. Let me try to share it. Let me find it, y'all, so I can share what they talking about.
All right. So you give them the notice. Thank you. Appreciate it all.
All right, don't look like they saying much right now, but yes, they have declared a mistrial. Let me see if I can pull that up. Cause y'all know I was screen recording. I said, oh, I think we got something happening right now. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat because of course I want to get you guys' thoughts on what you think. If anybody has any questions on the decision that was made or lack thereof, because that's really what happened. And let's see. I'm emailing it to myself right now. Whew. You said I think they're asking for, they should be. That's what I told you guys. What happened is they're going to ask the judge to entertain bond. One of the things that I showed you guys, which was interesting, if you guys are a member, I put up the bond order for Bortland. He is actually charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder as well, along with an accessory. So the fact, I can totally see them asking the judge to entertain bond. So that must be what they're coming back on, I would presume. Maybe I should rewind that thing back so I can see. Let's see. Wait a minute. But I want to let you guys see what the courts, when that moment happened that a mistrial was announced. Let me download this real quick. Give me a moment. You guys make sure you hit the like. When you come in, I told you as soon as I found out what the verdict was, we were going to, of course, bring it to you. So why is everybody texting me talking about mistrial like your girl ain't know that it was a mistrial? Look at Melly. Woo, you dodged you a bullet today, buddy. But the defense attorney, again, was a very good defense attorney. I told you guys they did their thing. We cannot take that from them, that they did their thing. So let's see.
Privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions.
Okay, you guys are saying you couldn't hear it. Maybe when I muted my mic, it muted on here. So I'm gonna start over and you guys tell me if you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay, sorry. When I muted my mic, it must have muted that too.
Jurors entering. Thank you. Please be seated. Let the record once again reflect the presence of the defendant. This counsel consists of the attorney and the ladies and gentlemen jurors. Ladies and gentlemen, see that juror inquiry form. It indicates that after further discussions, reviewing the evidence and speaking freely amongst the jurors, you are still unable to reach a unanimous decision. So at this time, what I'm going to do is just declare mistrial case mistried and indicate to you that how much we appreciate the fact that you were here and willing to serve. One thing I try to tell jurors at the beginning of the trial process, all through board dire, is how much we appreciate the fact that you're here and willing to serve. Our system doesn't work without getting people from the community to come in here and listen to the facts of the case and make decisions. These type of decisions, they're hard decisions. We very much appreciate the fact that you gave us the time because we've been here a long time. We understand that. You gave us the time and you put your best effort to see if you can bring the case to resolution. Unfortunately, wasn't able to happen. But I want to thank you again for your time and consideration of the case. I also want to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that jury deliberations, discussions, and vote should remain their private affair as long as they wish. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury work. The lawyers and their representatives are not permitted to initiate any communication with you about the trial. However, you may speak with the lawyers or anyone else about the trial. You also have a right to refuse to speak with them. A request may come from those who are simply curious or from those who might seek to find fault with you. It would be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror or not. Thank you. I want to thank you very much for your time. It's very much appreciated. Feel free to go. Thank you.
Now, what the lawyers probably did, and I cut it off to try to come on here to let you guys know what the outcome was they probably moved for a motion for bond, which they should, because he's been in jail for almost 5 years, if not 5 years. So it looks like perhaps they will have a hearing on that. I am pretty certain that the state is going to bring this case back. What I think the defense should do, and again, the jury does not have to speak to anybody. They do not have to speak to you if they don't want to. But oftentimes what I do and what betters me as an attorney, what bettered me as a trial attorney, was I would go back there and ask the jury, why did you choose whatever you chose? And it's up to them if they want to talk to you. It's up to them if they want to speak to you. They don't have to speak to you. But I've never had a jury tell us no. And what you get from that is, what was your good points, what were your bad points, what they liked about you. Some jurors that'll say, I didn't like you. I didn't like, your attitude. You was just a little bit too aggressive. It helps you to be able to hone in on your craft and know what to do better next time. Also, it knows, again, what's your strong evidence and why were you dead? Like, how many of you guys were guilty and how many were not guilty? Because it was clearly a divide. I'm going to put the link in here if anybody has any questions. Again, this is a mistrial, so that means that the state can bring it back. They probably, again, I told you guys yesterday, we had a very good panel discussion. And what I let you guys know is the downside to this is the defense probably brought forth arguments that the prosecution wasn't prepared for, especially in their objections. Now the prosecution can be more prepared. And I use the Cosby case, Bill Cosby, as an example, how he had a hung jury and was convicted the next time because the prosecution was able to come up with an argument to let some evidence that was deemed inadmissible in the first trial in the second trial. That's why Cosby also had appealable issues, because it shouldn't have been let in. But it will be in front of the same judge. That's why the judge is like, please try your hardest. Because imagine this judge is going to have to go through this all over again. Then we also have the trial with Cortland Henry, who is currently out on bond. He is on house arrest right now. And again, in the membership section, I put the order on his house arrest. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. So some of y'all that's not members might get a little access today, just so I can show what, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna share that right quick. But this is the type of stuff that I'll put on the membership, certain documents and everything that I have that I may not have time to discuss. That I may not have time to discuss. But this is Cortland Henry's. This is his order of bond. This is his order of bond. And it has count 1 is murder in the first degree. The defendant bond is set in the amount of $75,000. As to count 2, which is another in the first degree, $75,000. Count 3, accessory after the fact, it was a $15,000 bond, and count 4 was accessory after the fact. So he got 2 main charges, as you see, and then he got accessory after the fact. And I have the complete document again for his order, because I was just curious to see like what were his actual charges and why did they let him out. But it sounds like he had similar charges, if not more, because he got accessory after the fact as well. I put the link down there if anybody would like to pop on and tell me what your thoughts are. Hey Reese, I see you. I see you. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's your thoughts on the hung jury? Are you shocked, surprised, disappointed? What?
Nah, I really feel like he was gonna do that anyway, though. Like, that's how I really feel. I really feel like he was gonna beat it anyway.
You thought he was gonna be not guilty.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be not guilty anyway. Like, that was just my thing. That cause how can you prove it?
Okay. All right, but you know he just got to be retried. He didn't necessarily get a knock. I said that before. I didn't believe that they would be able to get all of the jurors to agree on one. I just didn't see it. I said that in the beginning. I was like, it's a hung jury. I've been putting that on the post, and that's what I thought it was gonna be, and that's what it ended up being. So thank you so much for popping on and giving me your opinion. We have Michael X. What's happening, Michael?
I just want to say free Melly though. That boy's gonna come home, I believe.
Okay. All righty. You think he's gonna come? So you'll be watching the next trial when they do the retrial, right?
Yeah, but it's just like another trial. That's gonna take like 5 more years, so we won't know that until like
Oh,
2029.
5 years. You think so?
Yes, this junk happened way in like 2019. It's
Yeah,
2020.
I know, but we had COVID. We had a few little things. Typically, they don't take this long to go to trial. So
That's
let's hope
another.
it's retried before. But you know what? I want to ask you guys something in the chat and maybe you know this because I just now got introduced to Melly for this trial. Does anybody know the contract, what the management contract look like with 100 track? Like a lot of these new contracts, what I noticed, the ones that I've kind of looked at, and I was gonna pull one up, you know, a lot of them got policies in them too. So I was looking at that as well. I got all type of theories going on in my head. Like were all of them signed to 100 track?
Hell yeah, they was all in like a group like YNW. It was like I think 5 people.
So they
But
were all under a management contract.
I don't know if it's a management contract. I know that's like a label, like 100K.
Okay. All right.
Is he like got a management label and a record label or some shit? But I know for sure Melly definitely signed to 100K. But I don't know about the
I
contract.
think one of the texts, I was just wondering if there's a contractual obligation because I did see one of the texts where I think it was Sack said he was waiting for 100 track to give him money. So I guess I just assumed, you know, that perhaps all of them were on the label. I mean, not the label, but management, under the management.
Yeah, I guess Sack had 25%, Juvie had 25%. Like they all had like a percentage of it.
Oh,
But
God.
like I guess it's just gonna be like Portland and Melly now though, because Sack had got killed and shit. But the trial just crazy though.
So why are people saying that everybody was broke then?
I don't know. They ain't really seem broke to me, but I don't know. Sack seemed broke, but Melly ain't really seem broke because Melly was doing like shows, but Sack seemed like he was struggling. But
Okay. Because they were all living in the same house and they said Melly was paying all the bills. So I'm digging into this because the defense is gonna have to kind of reshape their defense. Now it's put out there. We all know what you're gonna say. You know?
yeah, I feel like Florida don't got nothing though, because if them crackers really got you, they don't got to push your trial back like 4 years. Like I know COVID happened, but they could have still had it like 2021, 2022. Like they keep pushing it back because Florida know they don't. Like if they got you, bro, they gonna be ready to go like trial quick. So I feel like Melly coming home though, because they don't got no murder weapon, no witness, no motive. So it's like you can't convict this dude. But I don't know. We gonna see.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming up. I appreciate you. Go ahead. Anybody else on the panel? I see you, Sin. I see you, Mabu. What you got to say about this hung jury?
I don't agree with the they do got a hundred. He's not getting out. Whoever y'all young people out there listen, he's not getting out no time soon. So y'all just wait for that music, whatever y'all say he's coming out. And we need a new prosecutor. If they can, like the other districts are, get Kelly Siegel down there and let Kelly Siegel tell you how to try a trial. There is no way, like my daughter called him just now, talking about, Mama, he getting out. I said, no, he's not getting out. He's got to go. These young people think he's getting out. He about to walk free tomorrow. He is not getting out. And somebody need to tell these young people. I want him to be retried. I want a new prosecutor on the case because that prosecutor was horrible. And she don't. I know she's look young, but she don't know what she's doing. You could have had all the day. They didn't have to have some sloppy evidence work, yes, but you could have had a prosecutor that bring that evidence straight forward and get that. He would be getting a life sentence if we would have had Kelly Siegler on the case.
Okay, I don't know Kelly Siegler, but what I will say is you can't create your facts. So I can't say her voice was a little annoying to me. She was a tad bit monotone and all of that, but I can't say she was just a terrible prosecutor. I wouldn't say I've seen terrible. She's not really a terrible prosecutor. I think her facts, oftentimes you can't recreate your evidence. And I think she did what she could with what she had. Now, I didn't like her presentation. She was a tad bit boring, uninterested, that type of stuff. But I've seen terrible, terrible prosecutors, and I wouldn't necessarily define her. But it's a lot of people that disagree with me. A lot of people disagree with me in the chat. They didn't like her closing and all of that. I didn't like her monotone voice more than anything, but how she put it together, it was the evidence that she had. And clearly, again, there's a lawsuit out here, so the family believed that the prosecutor had what needed to be done. I think that Juvie's father thought that the prosecutor had what needed to be done. He's been out here advocating. So, and then I get what you're saying. No, there's not an automatically walk out because it's a mistrial. However, he is entitled to have a bond hearing. And if he may get out on bond if they give him a bond. They gave Bortland a bond. So we don't know like what that outcome is. But no, he doesn't just get out and walk. But he lives to see another day. It wasn't a guilty. So he lives to see another day. What you have to say, Miss Sin?
Hey, Pam, I've been following you for a while.
Oh, hey, thank you for popping up and thank you for following and subscribing. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm seeing red. Look, I fell asleep and woke up waiting on it. I think, yes, it was a mistrial, and then a lot of people may disagree with me, but the prosecutor's presentation and evidence, she went around. Her strategy was totally wrong. Okay. And the fact that his attorneys, he had a Johnny Cochran Jr., So
DLK is what we call him.
Yeah. And but I think that they should just go ahead. I don't understand why the other guys are out on bond and he never got a bond. So, and just like you said, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but he'll be able to get a bond and walk out. His best thing is to once he get a bond, see if he can move to a different state or something, because it's not gonna be a pretty picture for him if he get out, like right away, or get a bond.
Yeah, hopefully, but it probably would be house arrest. I couldn't see it being where they just let him out. It's house arrest for Cortland Henry. It's just he can get permission to work, and they want you to make a couple of dollars, so he can get permission for that. But that's it. He's at home the whole time. He wouldn't be out in the street. But that's only if they, if they even allow him to have a bond. But he's entitled to a hearing. He's been in for 5 years. So,
yeah.
So yeah.
And can you explain to me why the other guy got bond and he didn't?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really do not know. I didn't hear that hearing. But it may be the prosecutor essentially has said that he wasn't the one that committed it. I want to say that's that they put that in that bond order. I think there was information provided that he wasn't the one that actually committed. And the prosecutor said that. They said he was in the front seat. It had to be someone in the back seat. At most, I guess he would be an accessory. So perhaps that's why. But they're actually putting the GUN in Melly's hand as being the one that committed. So that's all I could come up with. But I wasn't there, so I'm just speculating. But yeah, so Andrea says she fought hard and took a lot of risks to win this case. The evidence and sloppy investigators were her Achilles heels. I'm gonna have to agree. Like, you can only work with what you have. That's all I'm saying. Like, the investigation it just seemed like they decided to wait. Oh, shucks, I got this case with Melly. Let me go ahead and investigate. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
You know, like getting stuff DNA 2 months before and all of that is just insane to me. That is insanity.
That's crazy. And I didn't know, one of my friends, because I'm in that age of 50 plus, and we were discussing the fact, and I didn't know that Melly and that investigator, or the guy that came in with the mask, I didn't know that they grew up together.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they got pictures of them as
the gang expert.
Yeah. And said that, he's even in one of his videos.
Oh my. Okay.
So that should have been a major conflict of interest right there.
Wow.
And if that's true, wouldn't you think the prosecutor would really look like a crazy fool if she called him for an expert witness?
Listen, they probably see, the thing about that is they probably all work together because he was a part of the police department. So they all run into each other. That's one thing that the defense has a problem with, is most experts in the area or law enforcement, of course, they're for the state. Most of the time they work for them, they have more access. So oftentimes we have to get our experts from other states. We have to get them outside of the jurisdiction, because most of them have worked with crime labs. Everybody worked with the prosecutors at one point. So I wouldn't be shocked that they really didn't, that they knew each other. That's not that that's shocking,
but shocking that he grew up with Melly. I mean, him and Melly went to school together and grew up together, and he was in Melly's video.
That the gang. I thought you were talking about the investigator. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I didn't know that you were saying that Melly.
Yeah, Melly and the guy that came in saying he was the gang expert. And remember when his attorney asked him if he was what would they call it, a groupie for Melly?
Yeah. Well, he was asking about a few different artists, artists as well.
Girl, I want you to keep up the good work, because you're the only person that I go to when I want to know know the law and all that good juicy stuff.
Thank
But
you.
I can't wait until, I know this is a different case, but I can't wait until Limore is in, when his trial is going on, which I know that won't be public, that won't be televised because it's federal, right?
No, it won't. Federal, they don't. That's why you get a bunch of sketch portraits. In fact, when you do trials there, they always have a sketch artist, and they'll ask you, like, do you want to purchase a sketch of yourself? Because that will really be your only memorialization that you were even in federal court, because they've never allowed the cameras and all that in federal court, even before. So they've never. So everybody got to be there, and I think that might be why there was a mention about. I think he tried to say the date wasn't the date because people talking about pulling up to watch.
But child, did you see him? I mean, I know it's a different thing, but I don't ever get to come up here and talk to you. But did you see that he's just out there all happy and go lucky because he was at the 50-year hip hop behind on stage with all these people, and I won't say nothing so I won't get blocked, but he just makes my stomach sick.
Yeah, I don't even fight. Most of the time, I know what's going on with him. I keep up with the documents, of course, the court stuff. But most of the time, I know what's going on because people DM me, and I just so happen to actually open up and look at the DM. But I don't follow them or anything. I don't, so I don't really know what's going on with them. Like,
Girl, that was me called you one time on Instagram trying to find out if you was coming out with the if you was gonna review the case, and I didn't know until after Cupcake had made a comment or something about you wasn't coming in until later that day. I was like, "Where's Pam? Where's Pam?" I was looking for you.
I get a lot of missed calls from Facebook, Instagram, all of them. But yeah, I'm usually, if it's something worth reporting as it pertains to him, I'm gonna be on it. But I don't report every little thing because you can't. You probably wouldn't imagine the emails of how many people call me that know him or email and tell me things about him. And a lot of people want to remain anonymous because they have their, they've expressed how they whatever towards them and whatever because they're in the same area. But I don't
Mhm.
I don't talk about it. If you're not gonna come up and show your face and say you the one said this instead of me, I'm not about because I don't know them like that. I only know what's in the court documents, so that's all I talk about. And
Mm.
that's definitely covered by freedom of speech. So
Exactly, exactly.
all good.
With them greasy lips.
You know what. All right, Sam. Thank you so
Okay.
much for coming on.
Oh yeah, of course, girl. You take care and tell Dave. It's Dave, you're right.
Yes, Deb.
Tell him hi. He always giving me a hard time in the chat when I say something.
I will. He's working. He always working. But I let him know. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it.
You welcome. Take care. Love y'all from Texas.
All right, Texas. We love you back. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye bye. Bye.
Uh-huh. Anybody else want to come up? Y'all can come up. So does this mean he goes home? Nope. This means he's probably going to be retried. The government is probably going to announce whether they're going to retry the case. And that is that. What else do we have? Wendy Chinatown said they never gonna let him out. Okay. You said, do we have bots in here? We not gonna do this. Some people are passionate about how they feel, so I just let them get their passion out. But hey, girl.
Hey girl, how you doing today?
I'm good. I was sitting back trying to give you guys the up to date, up to the minute, watching every now and then, hoping I ain't forget. I wasn't gonna miss anything because I couldn't stand there looking at the flag like 34,000 people that was sitting there looking at that flag. I wasn't about to do that all day, but I was able to catch the mistrial announcement, which I'm happy I was, so that we can immediately come on. What are your thoughts? I know you had a
Okay, so I had a whole setup. Okay, so I'm playing PlayStation 5. I had the verdict watch on the tablet over there, and it flipped up so I could see it if I needed to see it. And then I had something going on my phone. I was doing way too much, but I wasn't gonna miss it. I wasn't gonna miss it. I was like, I got a lot of screens. It's a lot of things happening, but we good. I looked at it. I knew it was verdict time because they brought Melly out, and whenever they ask questions, they never bring Melly out. So I was like, okay, they either have a verdict, whether it's gonna be guilty, not guilty, or hung. And they brought him out, and I'm like, and I'm just looking, and I don't know why I felt like it was gonna be a hung jury, because I was like, the defense, they done convinced somebody is somebody or somebody's, and they were like, ain't no way you gonna tell me different. I'm convinced, and you're not changing my mind. And that's why they came out yesterday. It was like, look, I know it's early, but we got a hung jury because he is not, or she is not, or they are not changing their mind, and we aren't either. So that's kind of how I received it. I have a question for you, Pam. So since this was a hung jury, does this mean that he's still uh being charged with these exact same charges, or do they have to refile? Hello, Pam, are you there? Caller, you say what? Because I was just running my mouth. Where are you?
Sorry, child, I was on mute.
Okay, you was probably answering me the whole time and just
I
never.
sure was. I'm glad you said something because I was just talking my heart out.
I was like,
What your first question was? Oh, you were asking. Yeah, they're gonna have to bring it back like an original case. I tried to mute
oh,
it because I got such background noise. But yeah,
yeah,
bring
things
it
be
back,
going on.
and they can do the charges. How they're gonna bring the charges this time. But I'm wondering. Of course, Bortland's is probably going to be because it's scheduled for October. So
Right,
so what I'm wondering is if they haven't offered him a deal already, if they would offer him a deal just so he can testify against him. Because if that
right.
happens, that'll change the trajectory of the trial.
Exactly. And that's what that was my other question is like Bortland, even if they recharged him, Bortland's case is going to be before his. And but if they have to recharge him like a whole new charge, doesn't he has to get out on bail. So why does he have to get on bail? Wouldn't you have to rearrest him unless you do it immediately?
Yeah, in theory, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So he
I mean,
could walk out then
they may
unless
have.
they re
He ain't walking out, but
I know he ain't, but I'm talking
usually,
in theory.
usually they make it real fast. They probably did a press conference already saying they're about to bring these charges back. Usually, it's within the same time of the mistrial. They may have
Okay.
announced it. I may have just missed it because again, I was rushing to go live talking about the retrial.
You didn't miss it because they didn't.
Oh, okay. I was like, let me hurry up so they know what happened for those that were waiting to see what was
No,
going.
you didn't miss it because I was waiting on you to come, but I was watching Law and Crime the whole time as well. So I
Okay.
was hearing everything that was going on, but they didn't do it yet. And Law and Crime done went dead for a minute.
Yeah, I seen that they jumped off. So you said, well, they use the same prosecutors. Oftentimes they don't. They usually change up the prosecutors. But heck, just imagine how much he paid for these defense attorneys. How much money does Melly have? Because baby, you paid for this good defense.
Oh, you paid for it.
So now you gotta pay all over again. And it would behoove you to use the same attorneys because clearly they were just they were
Right.
they almost got you off, buddy.
And then on top of that, they still had a lot of stuff in their pocket that because they only put up one witness, they still left a lot of stuff in their pocket that they never used.
Yeah. So Michelle says, is the law the same for white people? They always seem to get out. You know what? I'm not. I don't even know how to respond to that.
They don't respond.
I don't even know how to respond to
And
that. Yeah, they
this
scheduled something for the 28th. I was thinking it was a bond hearing or something, or for him to get out or something. But I, because I'm sure they're gonna recharge him if they haven't already got it ready just to file it immediately. They may have filed it already. I don't know. I'm gonna go check their site and see what's going on.
I think that the fact that the death penalty was on the table um, might have been like, this is not enough for that. You have not given me enough for that.
I agree. When you say the death penalty, that would make my mind like I gotta know that I know that I know. If
Right, because I
on my hands, like no. Because you can't bring
yeah,
it back. If you find out after they get the lethal injection or whatever happens, you can't come back like somebody that at least got life. I mean, of course, they could have just gave him life. They didn't have to give him the death penalty. That has to be a 8 to 4, Now they
Now, does the same jury that finds him okay, if they found him guilty today, would it be the same jury that found him guilty is the one that also votes for the death penalty or life in prison?
I believe so, but don't quote. I believe so, but don't quote me on it because we don't have the death penalty here, so I've never had to deal. Of course, it's federal. Federal still has it in every state, but every state, state court does not have the death penalty.
Right.
So, like,
Because
I know
I know
that's
here in
obvious.
Texas they use the same jurors.
Yeah, I would assume so. I know Georgia has. I just don't want to generalize it because I don't want to give false information and
Right.
generalize. But from what I know from the states that I know, they use the same jurors.
Okay. It was just poor baby. I know she at the end it looked like she kind of felt defeated. Like, I hate them.
Had to work with the facts that she had. Hold on one moment. Keep talking. I gotta check on my daughter.
Okay. Well, she worked with the evidence that she had. She only has. I mean, you can only present what you got, and it just so happened that the things that she was presenting, the defense was like, okay, I'm ready for it. I have a rebuttal to that. I have something that can kick that back. So
Yeah.
you didn't win. So it's like, okay, do you have evidence that you didn't present that so you could come a different route on the next time? And will you still charge the death penalty?
Yeah. Okay. I'm back. I knew my daughter was too quiet and she was in some candy. I was like, she way too quiet. Let me
See, That's how. Yeah, that's how. And the sad part is that's how I am with my dogs. I be like, okay, you ain't came and looked around this corner in like 10 minutes, and I can't see you. You in something?
listen. I'm like, let me go see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't. I think they should take that death penalty if they do charge him again. I think they should take that death penalty off the table. I think it'll make a difference.
All right, y'all hit the like button. We got 271 in the chat, so I need you guys to make sure you hit the like so we can be in that good algorithm so you guys know when we go live with all our good legal commentary. But crazy, not necessarily. It's up to the jurors whether they want to do interviews. You think all these, especially long crime, you think they're not going to try to ask them? It's up to them. It's going to be one or two that's probably going to do interviews. Usually it's hard to get everybody, but you're going to get one or two. And I'm curious to know if they allowed the attorneys to go back and poll the jury, as we call it, and talk to the jury like, hey, what was the issue? What was the like, what was the, because that would help both sides. That'll help both sides in the upcoming trial to know, like,
I,
what were you deadlocked on? Thank you
yeah,
so.
I didn't know y'all could go back there and talk to them. I mean,
It's up to them. Like, that the judge will go ask them, are you okay? They want to talk to them. But that's how I learned where I sucked. That's how
right,
I learned where I was good at, where my strengths were, what I needed to work on, because they're going to tell you, the jury's going to tell you, like, we just thought, we couldn't stand your client. We just went by the statute and was like, oh, well, they need to just change the law. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's I had a juror tell me that, like, your client sucked. We felt sorry for her because her mama was whack. I mean, it was stuff like that. And it was like, dang, I thought they would prep good and they would be likable, but it lets you know that what you think as an attorney is likable.
right.
An average citizen might think we don't believe nothing she's saying, and you thinking they credible. They were like, the person I thought was the most credible, they were like, no, we could tell she was lying. She don't have no relationship with her daughter like that. It was like, dang, like they were really forthright, and it was very helpful. So you actually have, and I don't know if they did it in this case, and perhaps the defense did, a mock jury trial. I've done that before where you get people from your community, they get a couple of dollars. And I was actually thinking about doing that in my membership section, where you can actually be a mock juror. They come in on a Saturday. There are a lot of mock courtrooms, a lot of firms have them, and you put on your case and you see how the jury will take your evidence and what you're saying. And that's another way to hone in on your craft. And of course, it costs money. Everybody can't afford to do it. But that's another way on these major cases and trials where somebody's life is on the line. You pull every stop. You get like Dr. Phil. That's how Dr. Phil. Somebody was telling me, I can't remember who it was. It may have been Crystal. Somebody was telling me that's how Dr. Phil came to be known by Oprah, was because on a case that Oprah had with the cows and all of that, they hired him to basically as a psychologist to get into the minds of people. So he helped with picking their jurors. And they believe he is one of the reasons why she got acquitted of being sued for what she was with that whole cow case back in the day. I can't remember.
That cow case was funny though.
Yes.
That cow case, you have to admit that was, I was like, for real.
Yeah, your life is in the hands of 12 people. We will never actually know what happened in that car. Yes, isn't that scary? But it's even more scary. This is what used to get me about criminal that kept me up all night when I did criminal. And I have not done a murder trial probably 8 years. But when I did one, it was like they tell you, okay, Miss Pam, whatever you say, I go with what you say because my life is in your hands. Can you just imagine somebody telling you that? Like your life,
Yeah.
that just was a lot for me. And it took too much on me where I knew that was nothing that I could just do on a continual basis. Because at some point you're gonna have to try to separate yourself. But for me, it was like, this is somebody's father, this is somebody's brother, this is somebody's son, this is somebody's neighbor, this is like I looked at them as the human that they are and how I want somebody to do me and my family. So
Yeah, you can't do that.
you can't take on it because you're gonna be stressed, and that's how it
Yeah,
was.
that's a big weight to put on your shoulders.
It absolutely is. But who wouldn't want that? You want somebody to care about your loved one just like you do. So
Yeah.
it's like finding that balance and those boundaries can be very, very difficult. When you do this, especially if you really believe your client had nothing to do with it. That's like the
Yeah, you're
heart
gonna fight.
your heart is palpitating like real hard when they come back. Like we have a verdict and you got to stand there on whether somebody is going to do life, whether they're going to go home, whether they're going to get a lesser included offense, and they're going to at least go home. If he would have got manslaughter, he probably would have did what, like 7 to 10 years or something, depending on the sentencing guidelines, and he would have been home. So he
Yeah,
still,
because he'd had 5 already in the bucket.
yeah, he would have been halfway through. Yeah. So
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I'll be like, they'd be like, it's in your hands. I quit.
it's a charge. It's a charge to keeping. It ain't for the weak. Thank you,
It
Miss B. I thank you so much for the Cash App, and Beverly Settles. I thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate it, y'all. Make sure you hit the like. I appreciate all of the cash love, but if you hit the like, that helps your girl out too. If you hit the subscribe, it helps me out. Cause
yeah,
I just
get them
jumped.
likes up.
I jumped
I
on
knew you was coming, and when I saw
thumbnail.
it, wait, I gotta tell you this, Pam. So when I saw you come on, so as soon as I saw you come on, I clicked it. And I said, as soon as I clicked it, I said, okay, she needs to stop this countdown and in the intro. This is one of them ones I need her to pop right in.
Well, I had to fix my camera, so if I had to pop on, I literally just started. I put a little brief little. I'm gonna have to redo everything. Put a brief little title and no thumbnail, nothing. Didn't do anything. I'm like, Mistrial, let me play this screenshot, this screen record that I just got.
Girl, I was looking for you. I was like, okay, intro. I love the intro. Hey Jay, I love the intro. The intro is fire. I
But
mean, my
not
daughter even
today.
come in and dance to it. When she be like, "Who is that?" I be like, "That's Pam, son. Who is Pam? You don't know her, but you can watch her on YouTube if you want to." So, so, and I was like, as much as I love that intro, as much the countdown, I was like, I just need you to pop on, even if you don't show your face.
You
We
said
got a verdict, and then just pop on.
not today. Not today, man. Play it at the end. You ain't got no outro yet. Just play it at the end like you did.
I was over here talking. I was like, "Ooh, come on, come on, come on. We need to get past this."
Oh, there's the link again for anybody that wants to hop on. So YNW, okay, wait a minute. Let me see the emotional post. Juvie's mom writes an emotional post on her Facebook account. Lord, I don't know if I can take this. My son is for no reason. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, that's rough. We don't take that lightly. We don't take it lightly. Hey,
Uh,
dear.
Hi, I've never been on your show before, I'm not really in the chat, but I'm in the clouds, and I really like what you do. I'm a defense attorney myself in Texas, and it's that you talking about your client saying my life is in your hands, and especially if it's an innocent client, that is the weight of the world, and I I hate when the jury is coming in and they have a verdict. I almost pass out
Mhm.
sometimes. Like I can't
Yes.
keep my knees locked because I will hit the floor, and it's just like it with the I've gotten conviction before. I've gotten some not guilties. I usually like my record is like more hung juries than anything. And so
Mm.
when that's coming. But when they actually have a verdict and they're coming out, that 5 or 10 minutes when they're getting organized is the longest in the world. It's the hardest one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is just wait for the verdict and put my hand on my client's shoulders like it's gonna be okay no matter what, and yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get through this, and we'll appeal it if we have to. Oh my gosh,
Yes, it's horrible. Yes.
it really is.
I'm so glad you came up to co-sign what I said. It's rough. I don't think they look at attorneys like we just make money and not as humans
Yeah,
that care about our clients. And some of us really
yeah,
care about our clients, and I don't think they realize it's times you sit there and you have a tear that's gonna come down your face and you trying to keep it back from crying yourself. And they don't look at it
facts.
like that, you know?
Yeah, 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 and I mean, I think I think maybe not most, so a lot of them do have that defense mechanism where they do stop caring or they don't care, they never care from the beginning because it is too hard. And
Yeah.
so, but I think a lot of us do care, and it's just, yeah, it's tough. But I did actually have a question about the facts of the case. I wasn't able to keep up with the trial a lot, just because of my schedule. But did they try to use his lyrics against him at all?
No, they did not. They
That's good.
Yeah, in the intro, I don't think they can in Florida either, but I want to say in the opening arguments, or the opening statements, the prosecution mentioned that they're not going to talk about the lyrics because the lyrics don't
Good.
matter to their freedom of
Good.
expression. So
That's
she
very ethical.
yeah.
That's very ethical because here in Texas, I would say 9 times out of 10, they're gonna introduce those lyrics, and I've seen it in death penalty cases when the person's not even really in the industry. They just have hopes, and they're jotting down lyrics and stuff, and they find those notebooks when they raid, and they get those notebooks and they put them in evidence. Like, look, he's always fantasized about being a this, that, and the third, and it's those, especially with a certain kind of jury, which is the kind of jury we likely get most of the time, because those are the
Mhm.
people who were called for jury service. They don't understand that is not personal and not necessarily reflective of their life experiences, and that will get them. That will really convince them that this is something that they're capable of doing. And I think that's really unfair. And I think like a lot of states are trying to introduce legislation. I know New York is, that it's unequivocally not evidence unless they can meet a very high burden that shows that it should be, which I think that's the right thing to do. I've seen death penalty cases where the lyrics like really swayed the jury, and we managed to get one of the guys whose lyrics was a big part, clemency. But people have gone to their ultimate destiny, based on partly on lyrics, and it's just that's just a travesty of justice. And so I'm glad they didn't do that in this case. I think that's very ethical of them.
Yeah, I believe California has already passed theirs in January where you can't, and I know Georgia was trying to pass. I'm not sure if Georgia's passed. Here in Michigan, I don't think it's really been a major issue yet. Oftentimes it's
Right.
an issue, and then that's when the legislature decides to do something about it. But that hasn't been a real issue here. But yeah, that she said it in opening statement. She did say I give it to her. She did say that, we're not going to talk about his lyrics because that's his, creative expression. But
Good.
so yeah.
Good.
Thank you so much for hopping on and
Yeah.
stay in touch. I'm so glad that you're
Yeah.
supporting.
Thank you. Yeah, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Keep going. It's a good
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're one of the only law tubers that I really think has a hold on things and isn't just in it for political reasons and popularity. So I really appreciate your analysis.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Cool. Well, I will let you go. Thank you. Have everybody have a good day. Thanks.
You too. Thanks. Okay, Dizzyville said your job is not easy. It takes a special gift to be competent fighting attorney. Absolutely, but I think we get a bad rap, like it's generalized. You have a few that are bad. You have those that represent people like, Trump, and then we all get put into kind of this category when I really care about my clients. Last weekend I was driving to the prison 2 hours away trying to help somebody that I believe is innocent, and I know they don't have that type of funds to pay me like that, so it's like I really care about what I do. So I do take offense when people kind of throw us all in the same barrel, like we all just don't care and it's about the money, because it's really not. The money's nice, it has its place, but at the end of the day I think it's a calling. It is a calling. And if it's a
Yeah.
calling and that's what you're destined to do, then if that's what God put me here for, then that's what I'm supposed to do. Whether I get paid $20 or $20,000, that's what I'm here to do. And I've never wanted for nothing. Even if I've done things and I've done it on pro bono, I've always been covered and taken care of. That's how I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So
You go ahead, Pam.
that's that.
Look at you pulling attorneys up. Go ahead.
You know what? I
I,
appreciate that I got other attorneys watching. That's dope. Because I can
that
say
is.
whatever. I can say whatever, but it's like to see co-signers and to see other people that feel the same way and can tell you from their perspective and from their experience, And
Yeah.
not that you guys don't believe me. I'm just saying, I just
Well, you kind of be honest. You're kind of easy to believe because you don't come and just talk. You read documents and then you explain to us layman people that are not, educated in the law what this means and how this affects, whatever their charges is or this, that, and the other. So
yeah.
that entire that I believe that's why one of the reasons that people love you so much is because it's like she didn't come on here and it's just not commentary for you. You know
No.
what I mean? You're not presenting commentary. You're presenting facts. You know what I mean? And when people have questions, you go into detail and explain it down in layman terms. You're not talking above our heads.
Well, that's because that's what I'm accustomed to do with my clients. I send my clients everything before I file it. A lot of times they sign stuff right there. I'm like, don't trust me or anybody else like that. I need you to read it and let me know if you have any questions. They know every step of the way. You can ask Dev. I've had him drop stuff off to clients, do whatever needs to happen with clients. I'm very personable with my clients. I don't believe in not talking to my clients. That's one of the biggest issues people have is they can't get in touch with their clients. My clients can always get in touch with me. We are always in communication. So I really do care about what I do. Again, sometimes it takes a toll. It has to be a balance. Like Deb would say, I think husbands of attorneys need support groups.
I'm sure Dan do need a support group.
But
To be honest with you, just trying to keep up with you alone, he needs a support group.
say it all the time, but my son will tell you. I don't know why he don't never hit the link. He could say as a kid of as a mother that's an attorney. He was there. He was already here when I went to law school, when I took the bar, when like he's been there through the whole thing because he's my oldest. So that's why I'm saying like this is my second career. So that's why and I've done it for a minute, but this is still my second career. But yeah, I'm
Right.
definitely glad that I went on ahead and pursued it, despite people telling me like, "Child, it's too late in the game for you to be doing this." But I'm gonna
Yes.
play. Let me play this one more time because we have more people obviously that's in here on the judge's announcement of a hung jury. I'm gonna play it one more time for y'all.
And hit the like button, everybody.
Yeah, make so please do, please do. Oh, wait a minute. Let me start over. Sorry, guys.
Jurors entering. Thank you. Please be seated. Let the record once again reflect the presence of the defendant. This counsel is the state attorney and the ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, see the juror inquiry form. It indicates that after further discussions, reviewing the evidence and speaking freely amongst the jurors, we are still unable to reach a unanimous decision. So at this time, what I'm going to do is just declare a mistrial and indicate to you that how much we appreciate the fact that you were here and will.
So that's it. That was when the judge declared a mistrial, and I hurried up and jumped on with no thumbnail, no title, no nothing hardly on here, just so you guys can get it first. So let me answer a few questions, and then I'm gonna hop up off of here and continue my Saturday as you guys should. Of course, we're gonna follow this because now I want to know what goes on with Cortland Henry. I want to know at first, but now I'm gonna follow his stuff, and I know you guys are probably gonna follow his case as well.
Yeah, I want to know too. Now I'm invested.
Right. I gotta know the outcome. I can see them asking for a continuance in Portland case until they can decide how to truly proceed with Melly. Okay, that's definitely plausible. As an attorney, what did you think of the prosecution's argument and evidence? Again, to me, I like her voice was more annoying than anything, but she did what she could do with what she had. I don't know how she could have presented it differently. Like if another prosecutor came and said, I would have presented this in a whole different way, perhaps. I think that she thought she would get in more evidence than she was able to. She didn't know the defense was going to object to the level they are, because typically we do what's called a motion in limine, where we go through all these motions on evidentiary issues before we even start. But it sounds like perhaps maybe some of this stuff they're claiming, the defense was claiming they didn't know they were gonna try to enter in. So a lot of these issues happened during trial, which was sidebars, and the judge had to read, you know, motions and briefs over the weekend. So I don't know. I think she did what she could. And honestly, the bulk of it fell on her. She had a co-counsel, but she did the majority of that trial. I think Melly's defense was split up a little bit better. Like we knew that Big Ange was gonna do the data, the cell phone data. She knew that like the back of her hand, so she was able to focus on that. They had it split up where it probably wasn't as overwhelming. They did well with the defense attorneys of 3, but they probably had other staff. They probably had paralegals and secretaries. But so I think she did what she could with what she had, and again, that's why when I even read the civil complaint, I was like, it don't sound like they just got smoking guns and concrete information like this. where it's going to be easy to poke holes in it. I was able to see that in the beginning. And I've said that since the beginning of the trial, it looks like a hung jury to me. It just looked like it was going to be a hung jury. But the defense did their thing. He got his money's worth. Of course, it would have been better if he got acquitted, because then they can't retry anything, because it'll be double jeopardy. But it's better than a guilty, and you got to worry about whether you're going to be on death row.
You did say from the beginning a hung trial, but that opening that she gave, I couldn't rock with you right away. But as time went on, I was like, okay, okay. I mean, you were seeing something I guess I wasn't seeing. You know what I mean? So, because that opening shook me. I was like, okay, if I was on the jury, I'd be looking at him like, what you bringing? Because she's this what she said. She said she got a lot of stuff.
She
Now,
did.
when I went on, I mean, I was like, ooh, you talked a big game, but you brought a little puppy. What is
You know
happening?
what? Thank you so much, Melanie, for the oh my goodness. This is very generous of you. I appreciate it.
That's me.
Bought it. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Thank
You
you.
welcome.
I appreciate. Look, you're gonna have a tear come to my eyeball. Thank
You
you.
silly.
Thank
That's so you and the baby y'all have some good lunch because I'm sure Dad is about to go to work as
He already
always.
gone. To.
Okay, well that's so y'all have yourself a
Thank
good
you.
little something.
And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Thank you, Charlie, so much for the cash app. You guys are showing so much love. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. I do not take it lightly. You know, I'm a little softy on the inside. I just play hard on YouTube.
But you gave us a lot. You dedicated yourself to showing us and walking us through this, and it was like yeah, she's in. And because I'm, a lot of YouTube, I watch different YouTube channels, and they get you all invested, and then they move on to something else, and they might come back to it. And you'd be like, okay, but I want to know the end. I want to know how this goes. And you went all the way through it, so you deserve all your little claps, all of them.
Thank you. Yeah, I have this issue with completion, you know. So that's what I said in the beginning. I said, now y'all know, now I gotta rearrange my whole life schedule every time somebody I'm like, nope, I can't do it on this day. Do it on Friday and Monday. Do it on I'm doing everything surrounded by this trial because
You
I need
know,
to make
you
sure.
know when I knew you were dedicated is when you had to be in court, but you left this running for us so we could just that I was like, the dedication is real. It is real.
I had a whole deposition one time that was like an hour and a half on one day. And I'm like, hey, I'm finishing up this dep. I'll be back in a minute. Then it was like the same day I had a hearing in the next room. Then I had an argument. I had devices set up in different rooms so I wouldn't have to disturb the device where it was streaming, but I'll be set up on Zoom for my hearings. And then I had another device for like when I did deposition. So I could just jump on them instead of like logging in and all of that. It was just automatic. I set it up in the morning with my Zoom, with my stuff for YouTube. I had it set up with my Zooms. I would have it set up and it worked out. Now I was tired. 5:00 came, you guys would say, well, you gonna go live about this case and that case? I'm like, child, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. I can't do it. I'm tired.
Look, when you checked out, I was like, okay, you deserve every checkout right now because you was like, I'll be right back. I got a deposition. I'll be right back. I got a trial in the morning and it's gonna start here and okay, and then I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna start y'all up, but then I'll be back. So I ain't gonna be here. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the dedication I'm looking for. How can you not pay for this channel?
You know that. Thank you so much,
I'm
y'all.
gonna need some cash apps, some stickers. I'm gonna need y'all to do it because she dedicated. She when she give it to you, she's gonna give it to you, and she's gonna give it to you in completion. So I mean,
And
I'm
I
just
love
saying.
it. I love getting your feedback. You guys are the jurors. And that's what I was saying in the beginning. I was like, man, this is so dope for attorneys. Because a lot of people, a lot of attorneys pay for what you guys do. Like the feedback you guys give me on certain issues. I'm like, man, I never thought of it that way. Maybe I can, you know, somehow fix that in or work that into something that I'm doing. So you guys are very beneficial because you guys are the ones that would sit on a jury. It's not going to be a bunch of lawyers, even though lawyers do get caught, obviously. We probably the first ones getting dismissed off of a jury. But, it's going to be your average neighbor. It's going to be your housewife. It's going to be, your teacher. It's going to be your accountant. Those are the ones that's on your jury. So to see what your thoughts are is very, very important. So this has been such a blessing to me. Like you guys are saying, I'm a blessing to you. So it's definitely reciprocal.
And don't think you only gonna come. Don't think you only have to come back when she's covering a trial. She gives a lot of good commentary on. She's going over documents and things of that sort. So it's more than just one, just covering a child. There's so much more that she also drops. So make sure you hit that notification button.
Please do. Please do. Thank you so much for the shout out and all the kind words. But I'm going to get on off of here and finish my day out. And if anything else comes up, you guys know I'll be the first one over here to let you guys know, or I will post it on my wall. Or if there's documents, which I'm probably going to look up to see if anything else is filed, it'll be in my membership section if I do any documents. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily have time to go live to talk about it. But thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I met so many great people at this Melly trial that was totally separate and apart from what I was doing before the Melly trial. And I hope you guys hang on in there with me. I'm sure, again, we'll be doing the Cortland Henry because now I'm just all in. We're going to figure that out. I don't know, the next Melly trial, I might have to go sit in the gallery. I don't know. I'm going to have to go on to Florida and, and sit in the gallery. That's just how intriguing it was for me. So I can do like direct commentary, but we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
We'll be there to follow you, but thank you very much, and y'all have a good one because I gotta go put an elliptical together.
Okay,
so
all right. Enjoy your Saturday.
All right, bye y'all.
Bye. All right, and on that, you guys have a good evening, and I am out of here.
Yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest. Not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge. They don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.